Hello and welcome to A Very Explosion of Christmas, our podcast dedicated to the merriest of holidays, the festive season with films about Santa, snow, or being left home alone. The time of year we all come together and argue about why snow globes are such a big deal. I'm your host, Ashley Hobley. Joining me today to help me grow my heart 3 sizes of Christmas cheer is Dylan Platt.
They tell a story.
Do they? Or is it just white shit that kids think looks interesting?
All right.
I'd be interested to see how they actually make, like, I guess you make the bottom bit, and then you have the glass and you fill it with the water, and then you put all the white stuff in it, and then you stick it on top, right? You stick the bottom bit into the water bit, yeah?
Yeah, adds up.
All makes sense. All right, today's episode is our season finale. We're doing another Christmas TV episode special, just the 2 this year, and I feel like our choices this year tell a lot about who we are as people. One of us has chosen a Christmas episode about a sci-fi dystopian future, and one of us has chosen a Christmas special from a show that got cancelled.
Try and guess who.
Can you guess which is which? Let's kick things off with the lighter one first. Single parents.
Isn't it amazing that we're standing here with the real Santa Claus?
I don't know, Mom. This guy isn't doing a lot to convince me. The details of his friendship with the Easter Bunny keep changing.
Your son's had a lot of questions.
Are you watching me with cameras, or is it more of a psychic thing? What did Abraham Lincoln get for Christmas? Doesn't there have to be some gray area between naughty and nice?
Oh, boy.
Of all the actors who played you, who do you think nailed it?
Tim Allen?
Did being alive as long as you have ever feel like a curse?
This little boy's not a fan of yes or no answers. He wants details.
I like to be painted a picture.
Season 1, Episode 10, The Magic Box. Originally released
December 13th, 2018. That was ABC, not us, but anyway.
Yeah, okay. Directed by Jason Weiner, written by Joe Wengert, starring Taran Killam, Leighton Meester, Kimrie Lewis, Brad Garrett, and Jake Choi. Angie enlists Will's help to finding a last-minute gift for Owen. Graham begins to doubt the existence of Santa Claus, and Douglas invites Poppy to compete in a series of cutthroat Christmas competitions. Dylan, is this episode a Christmas present, stocking stuffer, or lump of coal?
I'm going stocking stuffer. I enjoyed it, but obviously I've never watched any of this show before, so like I'm being dumped into episode 10. I'm working out the character relationships as I'm watching it. And I mean, obviously it's not super deep, but
yeah,
that definitely is going to affect my overall enjoyment of it. I did enjoy it. I just didn't think I'm sure you enjoy it more if you'd watched probably the 9 episodes prior, sort of thing. A bit more attachment to the characters. But so first episode of Single Parents I've watched, my takeaways were that Graham is probably the best character in the show. That Angie and Will probably get together by the end, and that Miggy feels like a B version of whatchamacall from The Good Place. Yeah, that's my overall thoughts on this episode.
That's fair, and obviously they're setting up the long play in regards to Will and Angie. This is a Christmas episode I wanted to do last year on our special, but I feel like we needed a bit more of a spread. I think it's a very well put together Christmas episode. Obviously, it progresses, does a good job of progressing all the characters forward in their singular storylines, while also exploring the idea of Christmas for these children, specifically like Sophie and Graham.
No, Miggy and Graham.
Well, yeah, Miggy as well. I mean, okay, they're 3 children: Miggy, Graham, and Sophie. Sophie, obviously, being just living with her dad, and Will being like this overbearing parent who wants to be involved in every asset of their kid's life, like kind of giving the mum credit for all these fantastic Christmas presents that she gets every year, and like kind of not taking credit, but also kind of like doing what's best for his daughter. I think is a very sweet thing. Even though you get to see some of his weird eccentricities, like him wanting to wants a cold ribbon, so he keeps the ribbon in the fridge. I don't know if that's a thing that, whatever. I love my favorite scene is the Graham scene with the Angie's boyfriend. Like, as
Did
Santa.
we watch this book? Did you pick this because of Xmas?
I mean, that probably helped trigger like a little bit because obviously she's in that, and she's very funny in this, and should be in more stuff. But yeah, I think that scene of like him explaining to this kid like how Santa could be going to all these different places and giving gifts to everybody, like on the spot. Even although I do love the flashback of him kind of interrogating the Santa with a spotlight and everything, very funny.
And everything, yeah.
And then Mickey coming in and like, do you remember giving me an N64 that one Christmas? Yes. Checks out. Checks out. Seems like the real deal to me. And then also the Poppy storyline as well of her spending of her Christmas away from her son, and like just having a nice time. Not dealing with that directly, I guess, is enjoyable, and also progressing that storyline, which does actually come to fruition. Unlike the Will Angie storyline, which eventually doesn't get a full resolution because they cancel the show unceremoniously before its time. Sorry. But yeah, I really enjoy this episode. I think it's a very sweet sitcom Christmas episode. So I wanted to highlight it because Sequel Parents, it was a great show that got destroyed before its time.
I'm glad they didn't have canned in laughter and everything for this.
No.
As a typical sort of sitcom.
No, well, it's from one of the creators of New Girl, and like JJ Philbin, I believe, worked on that show as well. So I don't believe that show had a laugh track either. So, yeah, check out Single Parents. All right, let's talk about your show. If you hadn't guessed, Dylan's episode for this Christmas special. White Christmas, the Black Mirror Christmas special.
What are you doing?
We're doing Christmas.
Christmas.
Packet gravy. How British. Confidence. Just talk to her.
Do you maybe want to go somewhere a bit more quiet?
You ever been blocked?
Stop, or I'll block you. Just please stop.
Can't see or speak to them. There's just the shadow.
Is it set up?
You are all set and ready to go.
I don't want to be in here. I don't want to be in here.
It'll be much easier if you just comply.
Originally released 16th of December, 2014. Directed by Carl Tibbetts. Written by Charlie Brooker. Starring John Hamm, Rafe Spall, Oona Chaplin, and Natalia Tena. In a mysterious and remote snowy outpost, Matt and Potter share an interesting Christmas meal together, swapping creepy tales of their earlier lives in the outside world. Dylan, is it a Christmas present, stocking stuffer, or lump of coal?
This is a big old present. This is a lot of fun. It was a good time. I always remember watching this for the first time. I think it was like probably the best, I don't know, one of the best, if not the best Black Mirror episode at the time. It's just such a well-written, like interconnected story, and I love the way it all plays out together. And I think it's super, like years later, I'm still like, you watch it and go, we're only closer to this future. Things haven't got better. I love like the double entendre, like all the stories are like set at White Christmas, but then you could like say it's White Christmas because by the end all he's seeing is white, like everyone's blocked, so that's all he has to see is the white screen, never little noise. White Christmas goes forever for him now. John Hamm, also the first like American actor to appear in Black Mirror at this stage, before Netflix got its hold on and everything.
Yeah, this was the last thing they did before it went to Netflix, I think
so, yeah. So, and then obviously since then we've had more American actors and stuff, but up until this point it was just a British show. So John Hamm coming in was always like, oh, John Hamm, like the guy from Mad Men, that's crazy. But yeah, I think all the stories are really good. The first one's just like creepy, has a great payoff. I say stories like the things, but it's just like interconnected stuff, like him explaining his real job. Like obviously such a like that falls more in line with like typical sort of these stories where it's like, hey, is you know, are robots real people, that sort of line stuff. And
how ethical is what we're doing here?
How ethical is what we're doing? And that's very questionable. And then Rafe Spall, his like story happening and the blocking and all that sort of stuff is just very sad. Sad everything what he does, and I don't know, you sort of feel bad for him. You know, he does something bad, like he kills a dude, but still sort of like you feel bad for him. And then by the end of the episode, you got this hammy guy, pun intended, creepy dude. John Hamm's character is he just has to live life now with nothing, basically. Great Christmas cheer. Great Christmas episode.
Yeah, I will give this a present because it is a very well done episode of television. Do I want to watch it every year for Christmas? No. Unless I'm in a very depressed mood.
To be fair, I haven't watched this for years, so you know I didn't say I had to watch it every year. I haven't watched it since it came out.
This is how I'm sort of grading my. It's a factor playing into these things. Just a really interesting story, really big ideas, but also ideas that could be coming sooner than we think.
Yep.
Is Alexa an actual person inside that box? I don't know. Is Siri actually a person inside that phone that's just been replicated?
How much Black Mirror have you watched, by the way? I keep forgetting.
This is the first episode of Black Mirror.
First episode. Wow. Yeah, okay. I thought you hadn't watched anything. So
yeah. So I think the story kind of playing out the way it did, and like the reveal of the layers, I guess, to it, and the true motivation behind John Hamm's character was really interesting to watch. And like obviously you're open with like they've been here for a long period of time, but they've not talked for some reason. And then by the end it's very clear. Just very, very messed up stories about what they're doing with technologies. Do I want to replace my eyes with that kind of tech? Probably not. Seems like a lot. I mean, interesting concept. The idea of blocking other people sounds good in principle. I mean, they can still like physically attack you and stuff. So I mean, and you could also like hold a sign in front of them, I guess, if you wanted to get a message across, that would work. Unless your handwriting is blocked as well. But yeah, the thing with the Raph Spall's character and like believing it's his daughter, and like watching her grow up, and then the reveal that it was his best friend's daughter. Messed up. Very messed up. Although killing somebody, probably not the best response.
No, not the best response, but you could tell it was like, that's the thing, like he deserves to go to jail, but it is like sad at the same time. You know?
It is, and the daughter dying because she goes out to try and find help and just doesn't get very far.
Yeah.
Very messed up. So very sad. Also, the idea that he gets stuck in that room for 1,000 years. Don't know. I don't feel like that punishment, that crime fulfills that punishment. Especially
they're just torturing the AI thing for fun, as far as they're concerned. The real person's locked in the cell, obviously.
But even
that's
then,
the thing.
it's a real person. Yeah,
yeah.
That's a person that we know. That's the version of that person that we know. So it's
which is part of the thing. It's like you, by the end of the episode, you feel bad and terrible watching that scene like play, like the camera zooming in and out of the scene. You feel bad, but then like as the episode's pointed out, it's like it's just numbers. Like it's not a real thing.
Yes.
But you feel
also,
bad.
I would have at no point why didn't you destroy the radio where the radio was?
I don't think it makes a difference.
Budget reasons mostly, but
someone on the side is like sweeping that shit out of the frame, and someone else is placing the new one down. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how they did that shot.
I'm pretty sure it was just a practical effect.
But if you're actually in the thing, and you know that every time you look away, it suddenly reappears, you would just watch that one spot. And yeah, like John Hamm's character as well, like being stuck with everybody being blocked, I mean, that would be rough existence to live. Like, you wouldn't be able to watch any TV shows or movies there as well, because all the actors in that would be blocked from you as well.
Yeah.
You have to only watch old stuff that everybody's died. So yeah. Christmas. Glad we ended this season on this. Depressing. Oh man. Just the concept of like being stuck in nothing alone with your thoughts for like weeks would be.
Yep.
I would comply very quickly.
Yep.
All right, let us know what you thought of these Christmas TV episodes by going to explosion.com/Twitter or jump into Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at A Very Explosion About Christmas, leave us a review on our podcast or on Podchaser, leave us 5 stars, and you can leave 5 stars, or just help people out the show. And if you've enjoyed this run of A Very Explosion Network Christmas and want to spread some Christmas cheer our way, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosion.com/support. All right, well, that brings us to the end of this season of A Very Explosion Christmas. Will we be back next year? In what form? I don't know. Are they doing season 3 of Santa Clauses next year? Or are we going to have to do something else? I don't know. But thank you very much for listening. And until next year, make sure you have a very Explosion Network Christmas.
We've got Terrifier 3 to watch next year. I know it's
Fuck. You said it's a Halloween movie. It doesn't count.